A staggering $68 trillion of wealth is going to be transferring from one generation to the next over the next 15 years, starting in 2023, in what is considered one of the largest intergenerational wealth transfers in recent decades. As a matter of fact, starting in 2023 and over the next 5 years, some $36 trillion in wealth is going to transfer from the remaining silent generation grandparents and boomer parents going to their children and great-grandchildren, the Gen Xers and millennials. The bulk of this money is going to go to Gen Xers, those 43 to 58 years of age in 2023 that are going to be in their prime working years and now beginning to answer the very same questions their parents were asking just a few years ago. But as these Gen Xers are inheriting this $68 trillion worth of wealth, there's a caveat that you as a financial professional need to understand that's looming in the background. 80% of these Gen Xers that are going to be inheriting wealth from their parents and their grandparents say they're going to fire their parents' financial advisor as soon as that wealth transfers. Why? Two main reasons. Number one, they've seen these financial advisors treat their parents like a transaction and not really build relationship with them. And number two, these financial advisors have not proactively reached out to the heirs of this wealth, the beneficiaries of life insurance, the beneficiaries of IRAs, the beneficiaries of trust assets and proceeds, and the wealth that's going to be transferring to work with these Gen X children to proactively prepare a plan to receive that wealth, to manage that wealth, to efficiently and effectively utilize that wealth during their working years and into retirement, but also having a plan in place so that wealth can be passed on to millennials and Gen Z. Now, this creates opportunity, but with opportunity, we need to understand where the opportunity exists. So you're not one of the 80% that gets fired, but you're in that 20% that get to keep the business, but also to position yourself to be the person that those Gen Xers turn to say, one financial advisor didn't help me, can you? Opportunity number one, there's a significant financial literacy gap among Gen Xers, millennials, and Gen Zs. Their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were so busy earning wealth and enjoying retirement and doing all the things they wanted to do, somewhat of a selfish generation, especially when we get into the boomer world, that they failed to teach the financial lessons they'd learned to their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren. As a result of that, these Gen Xers, millennials, and Gen Zs have had to figure it out for themselves, and they don't understand how money works and how to make money work for them as well as they should. A second unique opportunity is the fact that there are fewer financial options available to this Gen X, millennial, and Gen Z recipients of wealth than parents and grandparents had. Understanding what their options are and understanding how money works are two unique opportunities you have to engage with this market and create an opportunity to be the go-to person to help them solve their problems. Now, there's a third opportunity, and that's the fact that Gen Xers, millennials, and Gen Zs are going to live even longer than their parents. Now, because of medical technology and medical advances we've seen over the last several years, the boomer generation, the baby boomers, were considered one of the longest-lived generations in previous decades. Based upon the scientific advances and medical breakthroughs we're seeing today in the fields of artificial intelligence, the use of stem cells and T cells and NK cells to attack and eradicate cancer, immunotherapies that are extending life, the ability to 3D print organs that can replace organs that are failing, nanobots that can do surgery inside of our body at a microscopic level, almost down to the cellular level, and do repairs that were the stuff of science fiction just a few years ago, as well as things like genetic splicing and CRISPR technologies and other medical advances that are going to extend the quality of life and allow the Gen Xers to realize a 30 to 35 year retirement as the rule of thumb, 10 years longer than their parents. Now, with additional longevity comes the fact that the money they receive, the money they earn, the money they inherit, and the money they save is going to have to last longer than it did even with the long-lived boomer generation. But when it comes to financial matters, remember what I shared. They don't know what they don't know. When it comes to understanding how money works and how to make money work for them, these Gen Xers are now asking very similar questions to what their parents were asking 10, 15, 20 years ago. Those important longevity questions include, where's my retirement income actually going to come from? How do I create an income stream that I'm not going to outlive no matter how long I live once I retire? How do I supplement my Social Security, or God forbid it goes away? How do I replace that? How do I prepare for a 30 or 35-year retirement, or if I choose to retire early, potentially a 40 or 45-year retirement? Well, to answer these questions, you've got to start with education. Education that starts a conversation that leads to sales is where you're going to have an opportunity to tap into this $68 trillion worth of wealth. You've got to be able to answer the questions these Gen Xers are asking themselves. You've got to be able to step into the conversation they're having inside their head and answer the questions that they're asking themselves at the moment. They need to understand, and they need you to answer for them how money works and how you can help them make money work for them to create the financial outcomes that they want and they desire. How to take the wealth they're going to inherit from their parents and their grandparents and not to squander it, but to be good stewards of that money. These are things they're going to need guidance and help on. This is the opportunity. Another big question they're asking is this: how do I make sure I don't make the same money mistakes my parents and my great parents did? Can I retire early, or can I retire at all? How much money am I going to need to be able to retire and do so comfortably? How do I create the wealth I need to enjoy the lifestyle I want once I retire? And once I've created wealth, how long is it going to last once I'm having to look to my savings as my source of income? These are the questions that you have an opportunity to answer for them, and education is something they are seeking out and they're looking for. Understand, when it comes to marketing, Gen X is different. Unlike their parents, Gen Xers have been forced to move into a world of self-study, to learn things themselves. So Gen Xers are constantly doing research. 95% of Gen Xers are on Facebook, and they're going to Facebook not only to engage with family and friends, but to research information and to follow companies that are sharing insights that can help them make decisions and drive them to the research, the knowledge, and the understanding to make informed money choices right now they don't know how to make. Gen Xers are going to be much more hands-on in the process. They've been very self-sufficient most of their lives. They want to be guided, but they don't want to be told what they have to do. They want a guide. They don't want a leader. They don't want a boss. They're looking for someone they can partner with, a knowledgeable expert that they can trust, that can help them understand how money works and how to make money work for them. But understand this: they want a relationship. They don't want to be treated as a transaction. They want to see themselves as an extended member of your family, and that you truly care about what is important to them. If you can do that for Generation X, you have an opportunity to uniquely position yourself to be a go-to resource to help these individuals as they inherit $68 trillion worth of wealth. Understand this about Gen Xers and millennials and even Gen Z: they are eager to learn. They are looking for and constantly seeking workshops, educational pieces, white papers they can read, research reports, videos they can watch, other tools that they have at their disposal to learn about money, what they need to know. Here's what you need to understand. Education to this Gen Xer marketplace is what leads to a conversation, and it's a conversation that leads to a sale. So how do you provide the education that creates the conversation that leads to a sale? You tap in to the Vision Success Academy. What is the Vision Success Academy? It is an ever-growing library of tools, and resources and educational content that you can share with your clients and prospects to answer the questions they're asking themselves, to enter the conversation going on in their mind. We're talking about Financial Peace University, education that answers the questions people are asking. How do I deal with healthcare in retirement? What do I need to know about Social Security? How do I maximize my retirement income so I never outlive it? And how do I get my financial affairs in order so that I can live life today, but ultimately make sure a surviving spouse, my kids, and my grandkids are taken care of? Engaging in financial literacy workshops that provide the education that starts a conversation. And if you need additional messaging content, we have it. Education leads to sales, and that is something unique that we bring to the table in an ever-growing library of tools and resources that are available to you. And my question to you is this what you want? Do you want to be a part of this $68 trillion of wealth that's transferring and to be seen as a resource, to be seen as the go-to man or woman, to be seen as the financial organization that can help these Gen Xers as they're inheriting this wealth, receive it, manage it, efficiently and effectively utilize it, and then ultimately pass it on? Well, if this is what you're looking for and this is what you want, let me encourage you to have a conversation with us here at Vision Advisors. You can reach us at 1-800-505-8489. Press 0 to be immediately connected to one of our business consultants. You can also go to our website, visionadvisorsinc.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and you can schedule a strategy call with any of our business consultants. Their calendars are right there. And by the way, while you're on our website, be sure in the upper right-hand corner, you follow and like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, where we're daily sharing additional content, providing conversations that lead to sales. I'm John Terry on behalf of Vision Advisors, and we look forward to an opportunity to helping you tap into this $68 trillion of wealth that's going to start transferring in 2023 by positioning you as an authority figure and an expert to be able to speak to this matter and help these Gen Xers answer the questions that they're having and solve their money problems. Reach out to us at 1-800-505-8489 or schedule an appointment at visionadvisorsinc.com.